The Trump administration announcing a crackdown on asylum seekers as Democrats continue to blast the president's policies at the border. One of the more captivating moments of last week came when Tom Homan, the former acting ICE director, went up before Capitol Hill and had a pretty heated exchange with certain members of Congress. He joins us now with reaction. Hello, Tom.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. I'm wondering, what do you make of these ICE raids that were expected to happen this weekend that apparently did not?
Well, I think they are. I think that, look, this was hyped up by the Dems. That thousands of officers are going to be raiding cities. No, ICE is very good at this. ICE does this every day. So there are certainly out there, fugitive operations teams are out there right now, seeking out those who have been ordered removed by a federal judge. It's just not the blow up that the Dems claim is going to happen. The ICE officers is a target enforcement operation. It isn't a massive raid. They know exactly who they're looking for. They know exactly where to go. Very well planned operation. So I think you'll see in a week or so them come out with some numbers that may surprise a lot of people.
Tom, there were several heated exchanges when you were up on the Hill last week, Friday, before the House Oversight Committee, one with a certain a specific member, Democrat of the House. And earlier today, you were asked the following on Fox and Friends, and want to get your clarification on the other side. Watch. Actually, we don't have the sound, but you said on Fox and Friends, as it related to this member of this Democratic member, that you wanted to issue a quote-unquote beating to that representative. Do you care to clarify?
No. I mean, I'm a 34-year career law enforcement officer. I spent my career saving lives. This man attacked me personally, told me I didn't care about crying children, called me a racist. And anybody in my position, of course I wouldn't do it. But yeah, I said, it crossed my mind that this guy needs to be beat down. It's
physically
just,
or verbally, or both?
Both. I mean, don't pick a fight if you don't want to fight. I mean, what he said was beyond the pale. And for a man who has found dead children, for a man who has rescued many children in my career, do not tell me I don't care about dying children because not the color of my children. That was beyond the pale. Now, I've been in law enforcement 34 years. I've never, started violent, activity in my life. But do not attack my loyalty and love of my country and attack my integrity as a law enforcement officer. I've served my country for 3 decades.
The exchange was the congressman had basically asked you if you'd ever held a dying child, and you said, I've done it with a 5-year-old, and you had a 5-year-old at the time. Yes,
I've found many dead children in my career, many dead females, many dead males. Every death is very unfortunate. So to attack me, saying I don't care about dying children was, like I say, 34 years doing this, that was the most insulting thing anybody's ever said to me in my life.
To be clear, Tom, we do not condone violence. And when you talk about potentially beating a member of Congress, some would wonder whether or not that raises this to a level that it should not go to.
Look, like I said, that crossed my mind. Like I'm a normal human being too, and I have feelings and thoughts. I certainly would never do that. And I think all of us, when we're enraged at a certain part being attacked, you think about it. But certainly, I'd never do that. Come on, that's not me.
Last word to you, Tom.
I think that hearing was pull the curtain back on people that want to force a false narrative across this country. And I try to speak the truth. And every time I try to, not every time, most time I try to speak up, I was shut down. That wasn't about getting to the truth. It wasn't about transparency. This is about pushing a false narrative to American people and not letting an expert witness talk and try to verify and clarify the facts versus fiction.
Tom Homan, the former acting director for ICE, thank you for coming on and talking about the exchange. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.